on, fans, MAAC fans, whoever it may be, you Albany fans, if those existed. So this is Saints Banter. We're going to do a little podcast, something that we've been wanting to do for a little while. There's three of us. Myself, I'm Scott, originally Clifton Park guy, down in Albany now. Siena season ticket holder, premium seats for years. Followed them, obviously growing up a lot. And then we got a couple other guys on here. I'll let introduce themselves. Matt.
Yeah, Matt from Albany, Siena alum, longtime season ticket holder, and disgruntled fan.
Yeah, Bill from Saratoga, longtime fan, been a season ticket holder since years at the Arc. Also a very disgruntled fan right now. Good word, Lo.
So I think that's definitely good jumping into what it is that we're looking to do. So we are going to be planning on doing like a weekly podcast, maybe like 20, 30 minutes. Again, just kind of talking about Siena hoops, around the MAAC, around the NCAA, random shit, whatever. Again, pretty laid back. We're just here to have fun, nothing too crazy. And then we also were thinking about doing post-game, kind of either rants or talking about the tonight is Thursday. We are January 26th. We got Iona on the slate tomorrow. So I think we'll just kind of jump right into it. We talking about the season. Obviously there are a lot of people that are not too happy. Winning 5 out of 6 definitely helps. But it was a pretty shitty start to the season. 4-11. I don't think we're really expecting that. Didn't get our first road win till January. Been a lot of people questioning the coaching. Some people talking about Jimmy on the hot seat despite his contract extension. So we'll just jump right into it. Lo, what do you got? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, season? 3-8 out of conference schedule that I think RPI strength of schedule is either top 50 or top 100. So they had a rough out of conference season at 3-8. 6-4 in the MAAC now. Things seem to be treading in the right direction with the the departure of Nico and Richard taking his minutes. He was 11 of 14 the past 2 games. You got Smitten giving some energy when he starts or off the bench on the defensive side of the ball. We have no big off the bench. You got Friday, Fisher, Willem. If you put all 3 of them together, you're still going to have a player. So I think he has had a few threes, but defensively he's like a pylon. So the bench is lacking. They have won 5 of 6. Things are going the right direction. I'll throw it to Bill here, get his opinion before we jump into the upcoming MAAC schedule and the game tomorrow.
I mean, things are definitely looking up. They couldn't really get much worse. I would say the program was at an all-time low, almost a Mitch-esque low. I'll go there with it. I agree. The bigs are definitely projects. Don't know where they're going to turn out. I do think we have some.
J.O.'s been terrible.
Yeah, J.O. has been terrible. But this is what he does. He kind of does this all year, every year. He's hot early. Mid-season kind of falls into this funk. I'm hoping he can work his way out of it and become the all-MAAC player and all-MAAC defensive player.
Have you noticed the difference in his body from last year? It looks not flabby, but a little out of shape.
I mean, the strength and conditioning looks like it's been a joke. I think somebody earlier in the year was saying how, going to games in person and seeing how big and strong some of these other teams that we were playing out of conference. I mean, you have to kind of question, what is the strength and conditioning program? I mean, half of the games, it seems like Marquise doesn't wake up for a little while. I mean, Brett's been really great all year, I think. I mean, a couple games where he didn't show. But, I mean, Willem, I was kind of thinking that he was going to have a good year and have an impact, and he can't even, sniff any time. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Scott, talking about sleeping, we're going to go to your favorite player, Levon Long. He can't even make the school bus half the time, but when he's there, he's been all right recently.
Long's been hot recently. I am a long time, I've definitely the years, but I definitely like his performance the last few weeks.
I mean, Long carried you in the Rider game, showed up at Manhattan, I can't be too hard on him.
No, it's hard to get.
I think my biggest disappointment would be JL right now.
Yeah, if there's any senior not carrying his weight, it's Jo. He turns it on these next 10 MAAC games. Maybe you go 7-3. You got 6 at home. I think Bill's going to run through the schedule here. Let's hit those points.
Let's jump into that because I think 7-3, gets us to 16-15, game over 500, and also I think 7-3 in the last 10 gets you some good momentum going into the tournament. And
Get you 13. Get you to 13-7. You likely get the 3 seed, which means you avoid Monmouth, which means you wouldn't see them until Monday night. I think 7-3 is a must.
We definitely want to avoid the Monmouth run-in as early or as late as we can.
Absolutely. The only thing that sucks about the 3 seed is I think they play Saturday night. So that would be back-to-back games Saturday.
Right, there is some advantage to being a 1 or 2 because you will play Friday, Saturday off, semifinal Sunday. For a team on short rest who's not very good, I think getting that 2 seed would be very important.
Which is why tomorrow, and we're going to jump into tomorrow. Tomorrow's a huge game, obviously. Both teams 6-4. Iona played on Monday, I think, right? So
Monday beat QU in a fairly competitive game.
Yeah, but we'll jump into that in a minute. So let's look at the schedule, Billy. Go through the games, and we will say if we think they're must-win, definitely a winnable game, and then also the ones we think Siena could have some trouble with.
All right. So we have, obviously we have Iona tomorrow night. We're going to get into that in a second. Then we're at QPAC. What do you think about that? Quinnipiac.
Got to win.
Absolutely winnable game. Got to have it.
Quinnipiac has beat some teams at home this year.
They have it. They've
been solid at home.
They're a MAAC team, so they're a good basketball team, and it's a road game, so it's going to be a tough one. But I'm agreeing, it's definitely a must-win.
Did Jimmy write that response?
Yes, he did. So we have.
I'm not sure if he came on and joined.
We have Canisius at home.
I think you win that. Canisius started the season hot. Now they're 5-5. They're trailing down.
I agree. I would almost go out on a whim here, and I'm going to say that as we run through the schedule, every home game is a must-win in our position.
You got 6 of them. You can only lose 1.
I'm starting that with Canisius. So after the Canisius game, that brings to February 7th. It is Iona. 3 days rest after Canisius. We are at Iona.
No, won there last year and made a better team. I think it's winnable, but once again, I'm not going to go crazy on these away games. I take the loss.
This team's track record on the road has just been horrific, so I don't think anything is like you can't expect too much.
I'm with you. I'd love to think we could win the game, but short rest on the road. Jimmy's already got his excuses queued up. It's going to be a tough one. We got Marist Saturday the 11th. It's at Marist.
It doesn't even matter. Marist got to win.
I think it's a must.
You have to sweep Marist. You didn't sweep Niagara. You have to sweep.
You have to sweep Marist. Agreed. Then we go February 13th. Short rest. Monmouth at home. Now hang on. Before we get into that, does that make that Marist game a trap game? Marist 2 days before Monmouth.
Pretty sure it did last year when we lost that Marist.
Yeah, I think that puts that schedule sets us up for a trap game. We're going to travel down Saturday, come back Saturday night, and I don't know. I'm scared about that Marist game. Actually, looking at Monmouth being right behind it.
We're preparing Jimmy with excuses already.
Well, you learn from the best or the worst.
Well, Manhattan at home, we gotta win.
Manhattan at home's a must-win.
If you're not winning that, just end the season.
Massio pretty much packed it in after his speech last game, so I can't imagine they're going to bring too much to the table.
Yeah, I think that was waving the white flag.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was hanging it up right there. Good luck getting recruits after that fraudulent speech.
Then you follow Manhattan with Niagara at home. 2 duds, nice, JV squad to come in before the MAAC tournament.
Yeah,
so let's say 5-1 at home, 2-2 on the road. 2-2 on the road is asking a lot. That would get you at 7-3.
You close out last 2 games at Monmouth. Obviously, going to be a tough one to win. But honestly, if this team shows up, they can win any game in the MAAC. And then Marist at home again.
Must win.
Another JV team, have to have that. All right, so I think we definitely came to the conclusion. We definitely think 7-3 is possible. 6-4, that would kind of suck. That would probably mean 5-1 at home and then 1-3 on the road. I think they can get at least 2 of those games on the road. 8-2, I mean, possible, but with the way this team plays on the road, I'm not holding out hope on that.
I mean, if 8-2 happens, I'll be driving the bandwagon.
You and IS, baby. So real quick, no sponsors right now, but I think we're going to shout out our boy down at Granny Stout. Great place to go, great food, get some beers before the game. After
Good nightclub, very good nightclub.
Very good nightclub, good live bands. Love when they have the bands there.
So that's our quick free pitch. No more free advertising, Granny. So real quick, we're going to jump into previewing the Iona game tomorrow night. So, Lo, go ahead, start us off. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you got Jordan Washington. I think he's averaging 19 a game. Senior. I don't know how old he is. They won't post his date of birth on the Iona website. But he went to Indian Hills Community College. Committed to Arizona State. Got caught stealing DVDs. They dropped him. Iona picks him up.
It's a perfect recruit for Cluis.
Perfect recruit. Having a good season. Obviously, a high major player playing in a mid-major, low-major conference. So you got Bisping, J.O. We'll have to, historically, Washington hasn't played great against Siena. So hopefully,
Washington could be a head case too. It's very easy to get in his head. Going back to the MAAC tournament last year, I think he, threatened to fight one of our buddies that we were at the game with.
Yeah.
He's definitely a head case.
He's a hot. I mean, look at him punching Chris Brady from Monmouth after the game in January last year.
Yeah. Who do you think that Siena guards him? Do you think it's going to be a team effort with Bisping and J.O., or do you think Jimmy's going to kind of put J.O. on him and hope for the best, or kind of community?
Fisher at him for some fouls, and then I think it's just J.O. I don't think Bisping. You can't afford to get Bisping in foul trouble.
Can Friday body him up?
Hey, Friday's good for some fouls. No, Friday's too slow.
So I really think it's going to come down to J.O. Hey, you're talking about slow Fisher, and I honestly think you might see Shivers get some time on him. I know there's a little bit of height given up there, but I think you might get some time on the speed.
Yeah, I think guard-wise we match up pretty well. Their depth is not great.
Neither's ours.
And they go more than 8. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a pretty even matchup. We're home, favored by 1.5. I'd be rather surprised if we lost this game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lo. I think if the fans bring it, I think if Jimmy has done some game prep like we've seen over the past few games, and has the kids ready to play, the chemistry's up there. I think we can win a game here at home.
Yeah, they've had what? They played on Sunday, so they've had 4 or 5 days. Students are back in. It's a Friday night. Should have a good atmosphere.
What do you think? What do you think of a crowd?
What's students?
75.
I think 65 would be a fair figure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think 65 to 7,000 would probably do it.
7,000 would be very impressive.
Be a good turnout.
I'm going out on a whim. I'm saying 7,500. Friday
Wow.
night game. Students are back. 5 out of the last
Scott,
6.
we haven't seen 7,500. We haven't seen 7,500 since Butler.
It's Fran.
I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Hey, let's see. Saints fans turn out tomorrow. Time Union, 7 o'clock, Friday night.
Hey, maybe if some of those guys on Siena Hoops actually got off the message board and showed up.
Yeah, and actually stopped watching the games on TW and made an appearance at the Tuck, we'd have a chance to get a decent crowd in there.
Fans not sitting on their hands like it's a morgue. Let's get out there and cheer.
Yeah, it is okay. It is okay, fans, to cheer and be loud and support your team vocally.
All right, let's move on. Enough bashing the board. We're on the board, so we're bashing ourselves. No, just kidding. All right. So we're going to kind of just dive into around the MAAC. Lowe's a big MAAC guy. Let's talk MAAC out-of-conference schedule. Not very impressive out-of-conference this year. They kind of suck.
I mean, you think the best wins for the conference, Monmouth won at Memphis. Iona beat Nevada on a neutral court. I don't have the schedules in front of me, but I think the MAAC's probably in that 18, 19, 20 range, which is
pathetic.
Commonplace. Lenardi's got Monmouth as the AQ for the MAAC currently, and I think at a 15 seed. So So that pretty much tells you what the greater basketball world, the college basketball world, thinks of the conference. Siena would probably need to finish 8-2 to get a 16 seed.
I was going to say, they're definitely a 16 seed, probably playing in Dayton.
Could be, we could be a play-in game, guys. I mean, the MAAC.
Yes.
The MAAC's about as bad as it gets right now. I mean, it's been down for a few years.
That's fine. Most schools, like Little Brother over across the way in Albany, count those play-in games as wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cash and paychecks.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all you got to root for, Scott.
Another funny or good stat. So Kentucky this year, the largest deficit that they have come back and won a game this year was against who?
Canisius.
The Golden Griffs.
It was 7 points. They lost the other night, and they threw that stat out there. So interesting. I mean, that game obviously didn't end close, but
I'm not sure they even covered. But yeah, there was a good effort for 25 minutes.
I think early in the year that was kind of the surprise team was Canisius.
They won. They won at Bonaventure, which Siena could not do.
I mean, yeah, Canisius has been a little bit of a surprise early in the year. I think for the whole season so far, St. Peter's is a surprise to me. I mean, I didn't plan on them being up here.
No, Siena played an ugly game against them at home. I think it was 56-54. That game down at St. Peter's, I mean, everyone always says tough place to play. St. Peter's mucks it up, plays an ugly game.
And they play in a bandbox. They play in the smallest gym in America.
Game doesn't count. We didn't have Marquise Wright. I think we could be 6 for 6 if we had him.
Agreed.
Middle of the pack. Nobody's really, separating themselves. You got 3 teams at 5-5. Canisius, Rider, QU. I'm a little surprised about Fairfield. I think people were a little higher on Fairfield coming in.
Oh, they look great, man. Early in the year.
Yeah.
I mean, they could definitely shoot it. Any team that can shoot it, you definitely worry about, and they definitely have some shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Predictions, MAAC, regular season. Who we think has the best shot to be kind of like a sleeper upset team, and then your best bet right now.
I think you got a clear top 4: Monmouth, SPU, Iona, Siena. Maybe Rider, Canisius could in that 4-5 game do something upset, but the bottom of the barrel is pretty bad. I don't think you'll see any major upsets. I think that will be your Final Four on Sunday: Monmouth, SPU, Iona, and Siena. And from there, it's a crapshoot. It's all about 3 days in March, as we've been told at nauseum. So,
yeah, I agree. MAAC is top heavy this year. I think you agreed. You got your top 4. You hit them right on the head. I would agree. Rider's probably the sleeper. I know they've been in a little bit of slump, but they definitely. I'll go on a whim and say they might have the most athleticism in the conference. They are a factory for 6'4", 6'5". Guards. It's unbelievable to me how they keep getting them, but they somehow find a way not to win.
Yeah, they're good at that. Sure.
I think definitely can't sleep on Canisius just yet, but I do think that they had the most home games in the first 10. I can't remember what that stat was, but I think they only have like 4 or even 3 home games left, so that's going to be a tough stretch for them.
Yeah, if you look at it, Siena played the first 10, they played 6 on the road, so they're going to catch you on the back end here. Hopefully, favorable schedule.
Not to mention the entire tournament is at our barn, so hopefully that can help let a fire on our asses.
Hey, Jimmy can get to Monday night.
That's all we ask for, Jim. Is that too much?
All right. So, any other around the MAAC? Obviously, we had that shit. Had Masiello with his nice little rant the other night talking about fraudulent.
I'm interrupting. What's bigger? The Masiello thing? Bigger news, the Masiello or the Rider fight?
Oh, Rider fight.
Rider fight made it Today Show, Sports Center, national media, on Twitter. Masiello was on Deadspin. I mean, obviously, he's as fraudulent as they come. He doctored up his resume, didn't graduate college. Lucky enough to land back in Manhattan, and they look about as bad as you can this year.
I mean, do you think that's hurting his recruiting too?
I think of Masiello and his resume and his ranting and raving will affect his recruiting. Probably not. I don't think college kids really give a shit. He's got Rich Williams coming back, who's all MAAC second team last year.
Second team.
He sat out this year with an injury, so should have a decent team next year. I don't think it really affects his recruiting. He's just probably a piss poor X and O's coach. So longevity probably lasts the MAAC another 5 years, and then he'll watch over Ricky Pitino when the bar closes like he used to.
Agreed. I don't think it affects much on recruiting. Yeah, Maciel is just a true degenerate coach in the NCAAs.
All right, so that's what we got right now, kind of on the MAC. It's about favorites coming up. Top 25. Who's your team? Who's the team you think is definitely like a lock for the Final Four? We've had a lot of teams kind of fall off. Gonzaga is the last defeated team. They suck. There's no way that they're going to next team. They do it every year.
They got the Sweet 16 loss to Cuse last year. That was about as far as they've gotten in a few years.
Hey, I would take them all day, every day. I'd take their resume.
As far as top 25, I really like Creighton. Maurice Watson Jr. tears his ACL. They've lost 2 in a row. Just got blown out by Marquette, I believe, at home on last Saturday. So, that was a team that looked good. They're going to fade to black. There's no favorites in college basketball. Kansas, Villanova, Gonzaga, whoever. It'll be an interesting
what do you think about
tournament.
What do you think about Duke, Coach K? I don't know if you heard that. He locked his players out of the locker room and told them that they can't wear any Duke gear. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw that. They lost at home to NC State for the first time since '95. That's a fireable offense, in my opinion.
Coach K on the hot seat, just in.
Hey, anybody listen to Cam Godfrey's father should reconsider their.
We're starting that rumor here right now on Saints Banter. Coach K, hot seat after the NC State loss.
No, to be honest, Jeff Capel was the interim coach, so he's on the hot seat.
Coach K's got to get rid of him immediately.
Immediately. He should be gone today.
How about our own coach, Jimmy? He's been on the hot seat, at least on the board a little bit. Siena fans not too happy. He's got a contract extension through, 2021? I can't see him getting shit canned after this year, but we are not working with much next year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, next year's the dumpster fire. I don't know much about the recruits. I know their names. Don't know much else. Does Nico come back? What you're reading in the paper sounds like he might. I don't think he will. Next year's going to be tough. You're looking at a middle of the MAC. You're tough at conference games or at home. Probably another 14, 15, 16 win season. That's Jimmy's MO.
That's what you get.
1, 15 wins. Year 2, 12. Last year, like 19. You get a win in the MAC tournament, get to 20. So, that's what he is.
Hey, he's a 500 coach. That's what it's going to be. It's always going to be an uphill battle. Hopefully we can get a transfer in here. Can't speak much about the recruits. I don't think they had any other offers other than Siena, which is always a little scary thing. But, I guess we'll have to roll the dice and see where it ends up. As far as Nico goes, who knows? Who knows what's going through that kid's head?
Let's be honest, too. The chemistry with Nico and Reich definitely was not there. You could tell that they had issues on and off the court. There's definitely some talk about some of the extracurricular activities that those gentlemen partake in. So, I don't know. We'll see. Suspension, again, that's, it's like undisciplined coaching. I'm not surprised. You can't be having kids get suspended like this.
You can't let it hit the media. Come on. That can't hit the public.
It's been a revolving door.
Yep. You talk about the departures. You can go all day on it. As far as his extension, I think he's here through the end of it. I hate to say it, but I think he's here through the end of it. The MAC is weak enough to allow him to survive the MAC schedule. I always think, yes. I always think we will. He'll be a shitty coach in the out of conference, but I think the MAC is such a weak conference. He will survive enough. I don't know if a few games under 500 gets him fired or not after this extension. Time will tell.
I don't know. We'll see. It's all going to come down to how long is Siena admin and Darge going to, put up with 500 basketball.
I mean,
as long as the sponsors and fans do.
As long as Under Armour keeps buying our gear, Jimmy will be here.
All right, so real quick, we're going to go into a real quick session talking Albany hoops.
I'm done.
And
nothing to talk about.
I was talking Albany hoops. There we go. Good segment, guys. So just closing out, what do you guys think? I mean, we got Super Day, Tom Brady and the Patriots and Belichick. You got Matty Ice. Is he elite? Is he not? What do you guys think? Kind of a shitty, not really.
Yeah, here's my hope. How about a good game?
Yeah, I'm hoping for a high-scoring game. High-scoring game. I'm going to go with Matty Ice.
It's been terrible outside of Dallas Green Bay. Last weekend was a disaster.
Oh, my God. Unwatchable football. Unwatchable. I'm hoping Matty Ice turns the corner, gets his first ring. It's on turf. That I think slides the game in his favor a little bit in my eyes.
We'll see. Lo, I think you had a comment the other day, right? Chris Hogan, Rice, you made a comment. What was that?
Yes, I think King Rice and Chris Hogan have more in common than just Monmouth. They're both huge assholes.
Absolutely.
I can agree to that.
I love how everybody now is talking about Chris Hogan after his big game and how he played lacrosse in college. Like, no shit. If you didn't know that, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you watching? They talk about it every single game. He got shit canned from Buffalo. Went to Monmouth, played 1 year of football, and played lacrosse. Nobody gives a shit. He's a douchebag.
Oh, I think you summed that up perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to add after that rant.
There we go. All right, so wrap up this show. Like I said, we are going to look to do this probably weekly. Try to keep it right around 30 minutes. For all you degenerates, you can listen to it on your lunch hour. Not sure what day we're going to be posting it yet, but that's kind of where we are. We'll definitely have a little better structure going forward. We're going to have segments and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about recruits and whatnot. So it'll be different every show. You guys want to close it out?
Hey, maybe we can get some of our famous SienaHoops.com posters as a guest appearance.
Some guest appearances? Yeah. Maybe
we'll try to check some of those guys down.
Yeah, we'd also maybe throw out some questions. If you Siena Hoopsters are listening, throw out some questions to us on the board. We'll try to answer them for you and dig and get some inside info. Scott hit it on the head. We'll have a little better structure, a little better quality as we move forward. This was just our first go-around.
Yeah, we knew tonight was going to suck.
Yeah.
So if it sucks, that's fine. I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't need to chime in ever again. Can't be worse than Jimmy's coaching.
Yeah. So
touche.
So we will next week. We hope to post this tomorrow morning, Friday, before the Iona game, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to get some good guests on here, some guys that have some inside info, and go from there. So go Saints, and let's get a win tomorrow.
See you tomorrow night. Pack the house.
See you tomorrow night. Bring it down.